Hello everyone. I hope you all are well and safe at home and your families are safe. We are still in COVID crisis and in a lockdown situation, but let's hope that the situation gets over soon. If the things are, at the moment, I think we are planning to start or maybe reopen by next month, but I'm not confirming anything. I've had lots of questions about that. Once the situation is a bit more clear, I can tell you exactly the date when Skinzo is reopening. So today is episode 7, Living with Acne, and we're going to focus only on chemical peels and its role in acne and what I do in my clinic and how it works. So before we go into detail, just a quick thing because there's so many new people that have joined. My name is Fareeha. I'm one of the dermatologists and an aesthetic practitioner. And I'm the founder and the medical director of Skinzo. So that's just enough introduction of mine. And in terms of acne, I'm still having lots of questions related to what products you can use at home. Please, all the previous episodes are available on the page. If you go into the video section, they're there. My Skinzo team is working, and hopefully in next few weeks we are trying to open the YouTube channel, and there's a lot of work unfortunately, but we're trying to do that, and most of the stuff will go onto the skin blog site as well. Once it's there, I'm happy to share all of these things because I know not many people, they have the Facebook account as well. So let's talk about skin peels. Now before we go on to what it does in acne, let's talk about what chemical peels are. So chemical peels are the solutions or the substance which we apply on the skin. And the whole idea is that we try and destroy the skin layers. So when we say destroy the skin layers, it does sound a bit creepy or a bit, difficult to understand, because many people feel that when we are talking about the peel, it is going to take off everything and their face will fall off. This is the commonest question which people ask. No, it's not like this. So let's focus a little bit on how it works and what we can do. Now, sorry, one last thing. Somebody has just sent a message that sometimes it can take a few minutes or 10 minutes as well for me to get a question if you're typing on the live session. So whatever questions I get while I'm talking, I'm happy to answer straight away. If not, then I actually try and respond to all the questions as well. So, as I've mentioned, so the chemical peel. So the whole idea to understand is that once we've applied the solution and destroy the skin layers, it actually tries to regenerate the skin wound healing process. By regenerating the wound healing process, we are only focusing on 3 things. The first, we want the skin cells to become activated and work on that area where they felt and they became lazy. And they thought this is a long-standing trauma and we don't want to work. The second thing, what it does, it improves the skin texture and it causes visual effects of the skin. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is that it works on the pigment and it generates the natural collagen. So it generates the natural body regeneration cycle. That's why it actually hits nearly everything. So I love chemical peels. I'm a big fan of that. Yes, I can have anytime a peel on me, and I've had few peels as well. It is important to know what type of peels is required for you. When we talk about the types of peels, it only depends on 2 things basically, just to simplify it for you. The first thing is the type of peel you're using, because there's so many peels there, alpha hydroxy peels, beta hydroxy peels, and mixture peels, and further. That basically we divide on the basis of how deep they can go in the skin. So if I show you this picture, which I actually show to all of my clients and students as well. So if you see this is the skin. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So this is the skin, simple, anatomy, physiology, however you want to call it. So it's just showing the layers of the skin. And on the top, it says the superficial skin, deep, and the medium and the deep. That's really, really important. And somebody also asked this question, that how do they know where to go and which practitioner can perform? So everything of the skin peels is to do with this. So the superficial, very superficial peels, maybe anybody can do it. There's certain home products available, which people, they choose and they get it done at home themselves. It's important to know, again, I'll touch that in a bit of a second. As you're hitting the medium depth peel, so the superficial peel is just sitting on this layer of the skin. So it means it's just like a kind of an exfoliation, basically, not more than that. And it's taking off all the dead cells and the surface. So it's not going deep. It's quite safe. But it also depends how long you're going to leave it on the skin and how good your skin naturally is. Is it prepared? Is it tough? Do you have any other skin conditions or, you know, other stuff which is going on? So that's to do with the superficial peels. Then we have the medium depth. So when I'm talking about the medium depth, I'm actually going further deep there. So imagine that, as I've mentioned, the peel, the whole idea is it's going to destroy the top layers of the cells. So all the skin pores, they are open. So if I am not, if I don't know what's happening or how to handle the skin layers, I'm actually going to cause more trauma. And if I'm already there, and I don't prepare the skin before, or I don't prepare the skin afterwards, then I'm actually going to cause more trauma. So the three main reasons of the peel was, as I've mentioned, the pigment and the skin rejuvenation, and to give a smooth structure, I'm going to destroy that. So the outcome is purely based then on the depth of the peel. That's the key to it. The aims, as I've already mentioned, once we achieve all of that, so the skin is kind of regenerating and we're targeting purely on the skin cells. So there are multiple skin cells. Few cells, they only work on the pigment and they give you the color and the tone of the skin. Few, they work on the strength of the skin, something what we call collagen. So by picking a specific peel or mixing a peel, I want to achieve the desired outcome. So I do a lot of mixed peels, purely depending on the client need. How it works in acne is because in acne you have all of these issues. So you have a scarring, you have, which means your skin natural healing process is not kind of working there because it's kind of accepted and irreversible damage. So over there, I'm trying to kind of create a new wound healing process. And I want the skin to kind of focus on that. Then the pigment, people can have the pigment issues because of the inflammation, and scarring can cause that. So I'm going to address that. And then it's a long-standing skin inflammatory process, so which means that I want to address the new cascade over there. So it's actually going to hit everything. So chemical peels are best with acne. Okay, so what I do, one other thing, you may have you may have watched my other previous videos as well, that I always show this, and I work through this in my clinic. This is the skin type. So skin types are really important, and that also tells you which peel suits, which peel is best for you. So somebody like me, I'm type 4, maybe I'm sitting there. So I have a bit of a brown skin, you know. So there are certain peels which are not right for me. Something like a TCA peels are really difficult for somebody like my skin type. However, if I'm actually working on the skin type 1, then it's brilliant and they're not going to have a lot of problems. So this is really important. So I get to see a lot of clients with skin type 4 and 5. Naturally, we have a lot of problems with pigment. And if the skin is not prepared, which means I've not given you the right treatments before I've applied a chemical peel onto your face, trying to destroy it, it's actually going to give you more pigment issues. And once that happened, it's the most difficult thing to handle. So then this is the time. So all of these type 4, 5, 6 especially, you need to go and see an experienced clinician. Anybody can do peels, a beautician can do it, an aesthetic practitioner, or anybody can do it, but then it depends purely on that, how to choose it. The other question somebody has asked, that the home peels are quite mild. There are many available. So something like an alpha hydroxy peels are available as well, and beta hydroxy, something which has got salicylic acid. But again, just make sure that when you're applying the peel, I usually tend to kind of take it 4 weeks before, 4 weeks after. The superficial peels, they don't have a lot of downtime, which means that after the peel, your recovery is quite fast. It may take like certain, I do a lot of Xenobaji peels. So certain simple Xenobaji peels, they don't need a lot of downtime, or other peels, glycolic acids in these, maybe maximum a week. So you're quite safe. Few other peels where I'm going into a bit of a medium depth, the downtime will increase depending on the strength I'm using, and if I'm increasing the strength, I need more time. So something like a very deep peel, like a retinol peels and these things, the downtime can be actually few weeks. So you have to be very careful how you're going to address this to your client and how you're going to prepare that. What else? So these are the basic questions people they have asked. The limitations, okay. So it's important that there's the two types of peels, the time dependent and the layer dependent, they work differently. So you can't combine this. So you can't, and they both can be deep, they both can be superficial, totally depending on what kind of product or chemical I have used or I'm using it. So imagine that if you're using, okay, the simple tips, if you're using a superficial peel, you've bought it and you're using it at home, like Invisapeel is one of the very common peels in Xenobaji group. If you're applying it, certain peels, you can't just leave it overnight, or you can't leave it for hours. So few little tips to for any type of peels. I usually don't tend to do a peel for anybody who is within a 4 weeks gap, who's kind of coming from a holidays or going abroad. I don't tend to apply a peel because I'm actually going to cause more trauma. The sun is going to make it worse. Simple things after the peel, you need to be careful with that exercise. You have to avoid anything which is going to produce a lot of heat, because peel on its own is going to produce a lot of heat. It can cause a lot of inflammation, and burning sensation is very common. Skin is going to peel. When the skin is peeling, it's like a bit more dandruff on the skin rather than actually patches coming off. So when that is happening, don't pick the skin. If you're going to pick that peeling part, it is actually going to leave a scar onto that area. So 90% of the scarring after the peel happens because of people picking that rather than the peel was wrong. And when you pick it, you're actually going to cause more pigment issue over there as well. Then you are not supposed to use products containing retinols, which actually cause more irritation and inflammation to the skin. I usually tend to ask them a few weeks before, few weeks after, but if not, minimum 7 days, I don't recommend to use it. That's actually all. There is not much available. I think what we need to do is next time, we can talk a little bit more about the Xenobaji peels. I don't have any peels, to show you at the moment because all of these are in my clinic. But I'm happy to kind of take it from there. The only other thing is that somebody has asked this question about rosaceas and, does the peel works? Yes, peel works as well. So for acne, I would never say that peel alone is enough. I always give a mixture of a treatment because if I'm addressing scarring and the pigment issue, and I want to fasten the natural skin healing process. So usually you need a mixture of 3 things. You need a good skin care. Certainly, medical grade, you can't replace it with anything. But with the good skin care, you need, of course, diet, lifestyle modification. We've already touched all of that. Then you need maybe micro needling, because I'm actually hitting deep in a targeted area. And then a mixture of chemical peels. So these 3 things actually, you can achieve 90 to 95% outcome. And they're very effective. Chemical peels are not something you need to worry too much about it, that peel, it's an acidic solution or it's an alkali. That's more for a practitioner to kind of focus, because I need to know what is the strength of the peel I'm applying on your face. There's certain something what we call, it's a very new one, we call something like a honeymoon peel. People are walking in and it does not give you any downtime, and it's very good. It's actually a good replacement for a facial as well. So you can have this simple peel, very superficial, and people actually go back to work. You can apply anything after that. So, but these very superficial peels are not going to work on your acne, and especially on the scarring. So you have to go a little bit deep, but make sure that you know your skin type, and then you choose a practitioner accordingly. I think this is enough for today, and I have answered most of the questions. If you have any more questions, please keep me posted. We have more Living with Acne episodes coming, and I will try and answer that. Until next time, stay safe and look after yourself. Have a very good day.